Hey everybody, this is Robert for another Redneck Review. Today we are going to be doing a little something different. One of my other great and most famous franchises that changed the way I look at comics and movies and stuff like that, I get to review today. And it's my second favorite love as far as what to read and what to play and stuff like that. Star Wars. That's right. This is Dark Horse comic. I don't really do a lot of Dark Horse stuff. I do a little niche in there. I'll be doing the Mass Effect stuff for Redneck Reviews too. But this one is very near and dear to me. It's from the original Star Wars. This particular ongoing series takes place between the movie New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. It basically talks about how Darth Vader knew who Luke Skywalker was in The Empire Strikes Back, and it talks about the relationships between Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, all these people that you didn't know, and some side characters like Wedge Antilles. If you're not a really big Star Wars fan and you don't know what I'm talking about, if you read this book, you'll get a much better understanding of the side characters and stuff like that. Anyway, let's jump right in. To give you a little backstory on this particular where we are right now in the ongoing series. It's issue 10. Lord Vader has been tasked to do something else. He has been sent to start construction on the new Death Star, and his personal Star Destroyer has been retasked to a upstart commander who doesn't really know what's going on. He's tasked Darth Vader doesn't like this. He doesn't like that he's been taken a back seat to an underling when he's a Sith Lord and number 2 to take over the Empire. He's taken interest in a younger officer who has enough ambition to get done what he wants and will be loyal just to him. And on the rebel side, we have Luke Skywalker, Leia Organa, Wedge Antilles out on a patrol mission. They're trying to find a particular spy that has been infiltrated their ranks, and basically she's been charged with creating the first Black Ops team in the rebellion. So no one knows what they're doing. They don't understand why they're doing what they are. Their first assignment has been to find a new rebel base other than Yavin. So without further ado, here's the comic. We start off in the Devastator, the once personal ship of Darth Vader, and we have Wedge Antilles and Luke Skywalker running around the ship trying to find information on how they're finding out all this stuff about the rebellion. But and they're arguing with each other on what they need to be doing to survive. Luke has one way about it. He thinks that they should get a ship and cause as much damage on the ship as possible. Wedge is the one actually in charge because he has seniority over Luke, and he tells him, no, we're going to go and we're going to find the fighter bay. And we find them in this fighter bay, and they're just still keep talking about it. He goes, do you think Biggs, one of the pilots that was in the first movie, do you think Biggs or Ben Kenobi, your aunt and uncle, because I sure haven't, not yet, not even close, that he doesn't, they're talking about their losses and how much the Empire has taken from them as far as a personal stake, and they're going to find these, they're going to get these ships and they're going to try and take down this Star Destroyer and get the information back to the rebellion. We find the rebel fleet home to the commanders like Admiral Akbar and Moth Mothma, the woman, and the giant squid head that yells out, "It's a trap!" on Return of the Jedi, one of the most famous moments in Star Wars. We find them getting ready to welcome a member of Rogue Squadron or Black Squadron into the cargo bay. The rest of the people don't know this. They think it's just another ship. It's in black colors, so they don't know if it's a imperial trap or if it's a trap, stuff like that. And they find one of the members of Rogue Squadron telling them, "Commander," and she whispers something into Moth Mothma's ear. And she yells out, "Battle stations! Quick, give orders to disperse the fleet. I want a fighter every minute. I want a fighter squadron every minute on the standby." Another great thing that's going on right here is Han Solo and Chewbacca, before they get into the whole love triangle, the whole love story with Leia and stuff like that have been sent to Coruscant to pick up some smuggling stuff, get supplies for the rebellion, and they are met against they're hindered by the Empire and the most famous and most magnificent of all the bounty hunters, Boba Fett. And he's after his longtime rival, Han Solo. And I have a very, very special place in my heart for Boba Fett. I got to meet him one time, the original Boba Fett, and we hung out for like 5 hours at the local convention around here in Roanoke, Virginia. I absolutely thought he is the coolest dude on the planet. Unless Robert Downey Jr. or Stan Lee walked in there, I couldn't have been happier. I was in geek heaven. I met the guy who actually gets put on that Mandalorian armor. Well, anyway, they trailed him through through Coruscant. He's just trying to get a hold of Han Solo so he can get that bounty from Jabba the Hutt, and he is just clinging to the Millennium Falcon, using his jetpack to jump up and down to get from one side to try and get into that hatch. He tells him, man, so he must really. Then there's this woman who had a garbage scow that's with him, and offered to take them and get their supplies out there as long as she paid him. And he tells him, he says, man, so he must really hate you. What did I do? He goes, okay, what did I do to him? He tells this real funny moment. He says, I know I've done some stuff, but what did I do to him? What did I do to deserve this from him? And Solo comes up with a great idea. He's just gonna, wait till he moves off with his rocket pack and flip around. Kind of common sense, but I like it. Anytime I get to see Han Solo in a fight with Boba Fett, I'm gonna be happy. We have Han Solo, and like I said, the woman says, you're a pretty good pilot, but you're still gonna pay me. She said, you still have to pay me. You aren't the only smuggler in the galaxy, Solo. There will be others, and if I could turn you in right now, I would, but I think you'll pay me more right now. Is her general attitude. Anyway, we like I said, Leia Organa, Wedge Antilles, and Luke Skywalker were out on a patrol, and I'm going to get to that in a later review. But you see her on this ship. She found an old derelict ship that is controlled by a former Imperial officer and a former Alderaanian who has taken all these treasures from Alderaan and holding them on his ship. He is not a part of the Empire anymore because he has a moral attachment from them. But it's sort of sad because he could be a great asset to them, but he's a war criminal. He helps destroy Alderaan, and Leia is trying to come to terms with a way to bring him in, and so she basically leaves him alone, and she gets on she fixes her ship and leaves. She says nothing. She goes away crying because her whole planet was destroyed. I don't think this is the first book I've ever seen that really touches on that. She goes, nothing's wrong. Activate the homing beacon left aboard the Resolute. The ship was called the Resolute. It's actually the ship from the actual Clone Wars series that Luke Skywalker commanded. And she tells him, when we get back to the fleet, I'll have Mon Mothma notify the Survivors Fund to collect the Resolute and the Galactic War Crimes Tribunal to pick up Regarian. It's this really sad moment for her. Because I think they both really miss their planet and the people that died on that planet. It's kind of a strange moment, and it's not a real tragedy, but to me it'll always be a great moment of sympathy for somebody like that. But anyway, we switch the story over to the most classic character in all of Star Wars, Darth Vader. And he's on the Endor moon. Look at this art right. I don't know if you can see this, but TIE fighters and the Executor, the big, ginormous Star Destroyer, and I can just hear the music dun 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 dun, in my head as it goes on. And you hear this. Remember I told you about that upstart officer. I haven't remembered her name yet, but forgive the intrusion, Lord Vader, but I have the information you requested. Luke Skywalker of Tatooine, born some 19 years ago by the Galactic Standard Calendar. Parents unknown, he was adopted by Owen Lars and Beru Whitesun, both native to to that planet. The dates are somewhat imprecise. There are no official Imperial births or adoption records, so I have to rely on that. Basically, they don't know exactly who, in their actual records, who Luke Skywalker is. But Lord Vader knows. He says he's rather unremarkable. She says he is not unremarkable. Barshia is her name. And my lord, the other Wedge Antilles is far more of a proven anti-imperial agent. This Skywalker is barely out of his youth. He is a threat, a force beyond your comprehension, he tells her. And still that classic Vader voice. Am I not being clear? No, quite clear, my lord. By all means, send all stormtroopers to put a bolt through Antilles' forehead and be done with him. But Skywalker, if it takes half the ship's resources, you will locate and detain the man, and I am trusting no one else with this. Do not fail me. If you understand the tone I'm trying to get there. She goes, by your command, my lord. I don't like that. That's a Battlestar Galactica thing, and not a Star Wars thing. So the nerd in me is really angry at this point. I'm just playing. It doesn't really matter, but I didn't understand why that line was in there. The new commander of the Devastator, Lord Vader's ship that he was taken off of, it really shows him in here as kind of a arrogant guy, but he does. I've got to give him credit for this upstart guy who's only worried about his career. He's not afraid to get in a ship and go after these two rogues that have entered his ship. He says, "I'm an Imperial pilot, you cretin. I am a precision instrument, not a bomb thrower. By all means, hit their shield generators and ion drives, but leave the real work to me." He tells him, I will capture this fleet for the glory of the Empire. And he's basically found the rebel fleet that Luke Skywalker and Wedge Antilles are a part of. And they get in these ships. They get in the interceptors and whatnot, and they're being sent on an attack run to attack the fleet. So we have another chapter in this this story where basically now they were running on this ship trying to find information, and now they're being sent. They're stowing away on a fighter squadron that's going back to their fleet. And Wedge Antilles tells him, "Welcome to the Imperial Navy, Luke." All in all, this story has really kept me interested. It is really short and really spaced out. It's the only thing I like. I like stories that kind of get over in about 3 to 4 issues, story arcs. This one has been a 10-story arc, which has been okay. I'm just having a little bit of hard time following it because it's not a regular thing. It's not a particular passionate project, but I love all Star Wars stuff, so I'm going to follow and keep up with it. The story gets a 4 because it is part of. You can't just pick this up and know what's going on. You have to read the synopsises and stuff like that. You have the familiarity with the comics. The art is just beyond reproach. It is a dark penciled color. It is beautiful, and I could not imagine not giving it a 5. So guys, there's your Redneck review. And the good thing about this book, it's only $2.99. Dark Horse does the $2.99 stuff a lot like DC does. So if you're looking for a good Star Wars title, this regular Star Wars ongoing title from Dark Horse is your thing. Like I said, the story is a 4 and the art is a 5. So thank you so much. This is Redneck Reviews, and this is Robert. Goodbye.